advanced stuff. I know a lot of people won't understand exactly what they're talking about, but when you really break it down, we're dealing with private corporations all the way around. The police officers who are out writing tickets, they're doing so in order to make a profit for the corporation which they have, and the corporation have shareholders who expect a profit as well.
Wait, but the thing is, the police officers aren't going to understand what you're talking about. If you try to tell them, hey, you work for a corporation, it's going to go right over their head, because they're going to be like, no, I'm not. I'm hired by the county.
Right.
You know, they breed police officers that are stupid for a reason.
Right.
Because if the slaves knew what was happening to them and what their bosses were expecting them to do to other people and why, then they wouldn't do it.
I completely agree, but if you go before a judge, and most of these judges are going to know exactly what you're talking about, especially if you file the paperwork properly before you even make your appearance in court. But again, it's some pretty advanced stuff, so let's move on to a little different subject. The next question was, I'm going to go ahead and let Socio Student pick it up from there.
Yeah, because this is a lot more interesting to me, but false flag terror, do you foresee any more attacks such as 9/11 or 7/7, or do you think the terrorist card is played out? They've kicked the dead horse too much. They've set up their control grid, and now it's time for pandemics and attacking the internet.
Well, why would they give up a strategy, fear, that has worked so well all throughout history? It's a classic one that can run forever and ever. Historically, the enemy has been a tangible target. The communists, the pagans, the barbarians, and so on. But now the controlling elite have come up with a multifunctional, amorphous, ever-changing boogeyman called a terrorist. And chances are the elite will continue to play that card out. Our job is to wake up and start connecting the dots. The old saying about the definition of insanity is that you keep repeating the same action while continuing to expect a different result. The joke is the elite keep repeating the same actions upon us. Yet while we're still asleep, we keep expecting a different outcome. Same puppet show every time, only the costumes and the set dressings ever change. The number one puppet show, of course, is politics.
We've had false flags throughout history, and it's been their number one means of control. Adolf Hitler bombed his own Reichstag. We had the
USS Cole. We had the Gulf of Tonkin.
The Gulf of Tonkin. We had the 9/11, of course.
Oh, that was the pinnacle of false flags.
Right.
Right there was, and it was because it was carried out on our own soil, on our own people, not military, not police that have basically taken an oath to dedicate their life or death if it comes to that for the people, but people who have nothing to do with anything. They were just going to work, They were just regular citizens.
I know. They just recently released some of the transcripts of some of the text messages, which people...
Pages,
the pager messages, yeah. It was saying, don't leave the building, everything is fine, one of the other towers just collapsed.
That is so messed up.
I would have gotten the hell out of there immediately.
Oh, I know.
I mean, as soon as the first plane hit, even before the first plane hit, as soon as I saw the first bomb go off in the basement, then I would have been out of there.
Yeah, exactly. And when you say that, I mean, to all the folks listening out there who don't know, there were bombs in the basement of the World Trade Center towers. There was a guy that worked in maintenance,
William Rodriguez,
who testified that he heard he felt bombs go off in the bottom floor.
Well, he testified
before the planes even hit.
He was in the basement, and all of a sudden, I remember his words echoing through my mind to boom, just all of a sudden, boom, and he was just thrown back by an explosion in the building. And this was before the first plane hit.
Exactly.
And then just a couple of years ago, he was out doing speaking tours, and a couple of years ago, he supposedly committed suicide.
Really?
In his apartment. He was worried about paying his rent. He couldn't pay his rent.
Whatever.
Right when the economic crash happened, and he went and bought a gun with his rent money and killed himself.
Do you really think he killed himself?
Of course not.
Exactly.
It's like the DC Madam.
Or all the bioweapons scientists and all the scientists who are involved in virology and things like that getting suicided as well. That they do the same thing over and over and over again. 9/11 was a self-inflicted wound, just like the Gulf of Tonkin, all that. And even Dick Cheney said, was it last year, that he wanted to basically, just to give you a little backstory, Seymour Hersh, Cy Hersh, he wrote, he didn't write an article about it because, they decided not to do it. But he did mention it at a meeting or some kind of lecture hall thing that he attended. And he said that Dick Cheney proposed an idea to basically take U.S. military, and dress them up like Iranian soldiers, put them on U-boats out in which was it? It was some kind of Gulf out in the Middle East. And then just,
the Persian Gulf.
Yeah, the Persian Gulf, yeah. And then just, attack them.
Well, that's...
get them to attack or
that's been their MO.
Like that.
In the, what was it, the Gulf of Tonkin, where they had the Israelis flying false colors and bombing one of our ships, and then a Russian submarine came and saw the whole thing.
Right,
and
exactly.
the USS Liberty was able to get back to safety.
This kind of garbage has been going on for a long time. It's a tried and true tactic that the New World Order likes to use. It's the epitome of tyranny, though, because these poor people at home have no idea what's really going on, and the whole media is based on lies. It's complete lies, because when you find out that 9/11 was an inside job, then you find out that the media is lying to you about that. So what else are they lying to you about? And then you find out what else the media is lying to you about, and then you really get pissed.
That's about how it happened with me. I remember right when 9/11 happened, they were talking about going into Pakistan, and I remember watching, I think it was Fox.
In Afghanistan?
No, they were talking about going into Pakistan.
Really?
Yeah, they were just talking about it. And they were in Afghanistan, wanting to go to Pakistan. And I remember this news story. I wish I could find it on YouTube or something, but they were saying that they went into Afghanistan, found Taliban torture chambers, and they had a battery there, and they were supposedly hooking up these jumper cables to, I guess, torture people with the batteries. And on the battery, it had in masking tape the word Pakistan written across it. And it was like a subliminal thing where the next article right after that, the next story was talking about how they might be in Pakistan and we might have to go into Pakistan next and everything like that. I'm really sick, really sick. And for the people listening, if you go to YouTube and type in CNN, what is it, CNN, you know that story in the first Iraq War where they did it in front of a blue screen and the guy...
Oh, yeah.
What was it? CNN making up stories, something like that. False journalism. I don't know.
Fake journalism. Was it? Oh, fake broadcast.
CNN fake broadcast.
Right.
And the guy's sitting there laughing about it. He's like, I gotta go get a hamburger,
Yeah, and then they act like they're in, I think, Iraq. They act like they're in Iraq. It was the Gulf War. And first Gulf War, and it's hilarious because they have a fake bomb go off in the background, and then one of them pulls on a gas mask, and the other one just puts on a helmet, and it's like, wow, okay. It's completely obvious to people now, but back then I guess it worked.
Here it is. I just pulled it up. CNN news hoax is the keyword, and it'll bring up that video. It's hilarious. Anyways, let's get back to what we were talking about. The next question that we asked, because obviously this is something on everybody's mind, are they planning to take out the 80% of the population? And a lot of people have different opinions on that. I don't know if they're going to take out 80%. That seems pretty excessive. But, that just refer to the Georgia Guidestones. But anyways, I'm going to let the anti-terrorist answer this one. How does he feel about this idea that 80% of the population is going to be reduced?
Well, all the evidence I've uncovered certainly points that way. I would recommend everyone investigate the Georgia Guidestones for a start, then move on to the experiments conducted on native populations. The overwhelming evidence of planned food poisoning of the water and food supply, Global 2000, and then, of course, the next big travesty, Codex Alimentarius.
Now, I'm assuming Global 2000 is the EU runner-up to Codex Alimentarius. Codex Alimentarius, Dr. Rima Leibow has a lot of good information on it. If you go to healthfreedomusa.net, you can go to Dr. Rima Leibow's website, and she talks about Codex Alimentarius quite a bit in her videos. You can find them on YouTube as well. Codex Alimentarius is a program that the UN and World Health Organization have basically signed into some sort of international bullshit law that basically tries to limit the amount of nutrients that can be in your food. And they classify fluoride as a nutrient while classifying sugar as like a chemical or something. They're trying to basically